Today we conclude looking at the four evangelists, the symbols on the pulpits in the main sanctuary. In April we celebrated St. Mark, which is the lion, and boldly proclaims Christ with no nonsense. In September we celebrated St. Matthew, who proclaims the humanity of Christ and how he fully knows what it is to be a human being in a world of sin, and yet calls us to follow him, and in so doing frees us from all the muck and mire that slows us down. In October, Pastor Jack Gilbert preached to us about St. Luke, the ox, the sacrificial animal. The gospel is opened by Zacharias making a sacrifice in the temple, and Luke emphasizes the sacrificial work of Christ all through his gospel, finally culminating with his sacrifice on the cross. And today we look at St. John the eagle. John is Jesus' best friend from a worldly perspective. He looks with Jesus with open eyes. Now, in ancient times, people believed that the eagle was the only creature who could stare directly into the sun. And of course, if you think about it, you see the eagle flying so high, and as an ancient, you don't know how far away the sun is. It's all a matter of perspective. So it looks like the eagle is flying right parallel with the sun and looking right at it. And you remember the story of Daedalus and Icarus. Daedalus, built wings for Icarus to fly, and Icarus flew too high and got too close to the sun, and the wax melted, and then he fell to earth. That's how the ancients understood the sun. So when it came time to choose a symbol for St. John, well, the eagle was an obvious choice, because just as the eagle could stare directly into the sun, S-U-N, John had stared directly into Jesus' eyes, the sun, S-O-N. John looks wide-eyed upon the Lord. And having received all of the Lord's brightness, John reflects that light on us. Like the eagle in the book of Revelation, John soared higher than any other man ever had, and reports back to us what he saw and what he heard. And the message from the book of Revelation is good news. Over the years of my ministry, almost without fail, if I ask a Bible class what book of the Bible they'd like to study, at least someone will say, "Oh, Revelation." I think it's because people believe that the book of Revelation will somehow open for them a secret portal, and they'll receive all the information they need for this life to enter the next life. Well, I guess that's true in a way. But the thing is the information in Revelation is nothing we haven't heard in every other book of the New Testament. I often tell people, when you can report to me that you have read every other book of the New Testament, then we'll do a Bible study on Revelation. But I'll skip ahead tonight for you. The message is simple. Ready for the secret? We win. That's it. The Christ child came to earth, was born, crucified, rose again, will come back for us, and because of that, no matter what we suffer today, in the end, we win. That's what the eagle eye of St. John saw when he stared into the sun. He saw through all the religiosity and all the excuses. When you get home tonight, pick up your Bibles and read Revelation chapters 2 and 3. And you will find that everything written to the 7 churches in chapters 2 and 3 of Revelation applies right here to Trinity. You can find Trinity in every one of those churches. What's more, you can find every church you've ever been a member of in those 7 churches. You have Ephesus, who had gotten so busy with the things of running the church that they had abandoned the gospel. And you have Pergamum, who's worshiping idols of some sort, and Laodicea, which is lukewarm. It's neither hot nor cold. And these are the strong churches. These are the big deals with St. John as their pastor. St. John, who has looked eye to eye with the Son of God, relates to these people, the end of the story. Chapters 4 through 22 of Revelation. We win. Like the eagle that was supposed to be able to stare directly into the sun, so St. John looked directly into the eyes of the Son and knew the truth, and the truth sets us free and allows us to live whatever lives we have on this earth with peace and with joy. When volcanoes are erupting and tsunamis are washing over the land, we don't have to run around like chickens with our heads cut off, bemoaning our fate, terrified of what's going to happen next. Nor do we have to fear people who say happy holidays or a war on Christmas. Nor do we have to live in fear and suspicion of people from the Nation of Islam or from communism or any other religious or political ideology. Folks, St. John tells us how it ends. We're the winners. We already know the last chapter of the book. Now, as John says to his 7 churches to whom he's writing, I say to you, start behaving like winners. That's all John was telling his congregations in Revelation. How can you be lukewarm or idolatrous or lazy witnesses? God has moved heaven and earth for you. How can we be likewise, Trinity? How can we ignore God and chase after any of the idols of this world? How can we participate in any activities that offend or hurt God? He's moved heaven and earth for us. We're the winners. Be gracious winners. Be gracious winners to those who lost. Reach out to the Muslims and the Jews and the atheists and the agnostics. Reach out to them. Take their hands and look into their eyes, just like John did with Jesus, and show them the way. Show them the way simply by how you love them and how you share with them the Son who brought you to life. We'll confess our faith together in the words of the Apostles'